coming today. My name is Mary Lou Polly. I'm the mayor of Issaquah, and I'm excited to be here with you all today to cut the ribbon on the largest capital project in our city's history. Southeast 62nd Street now extends from East Lake Sammamish Parkway to Costco's headquarters on Lake Drive and to Pickering Place. This is a significant transportation project for our city and residents and businesses on the north side of I-90. As you view the project today, you will see the new bridge over Issaquah Creek and improvements including new sidewalks, bike lanes, and a trail undercrossing. These improvements add capacity, connectivity, and a new urban look to an area that was originally more rural in character. There will also be a future art installation on the west end of the project. As a trail city, it's always exciting to celebrate the improvements and reopening of the East Lake Sammamish Trail. I'm happy to see that Jim from Mountains to Sound Greenway and Claire from the Cascade Bicycle Club and Sujata from King County Parks have all joined us today to celebrate. I did hear from many residents that the early reopening of the Pickering Trail this fall was much appreciated. And I want to especially thank our Public Works Engineering Director, Sheldon Lynn, for making that a priority. You will see a significant amount of mitigation and preservation work that was completed in conjunction with this project, ensuring the health of the creek and the ecosystem surrounding it thrive in the middle of our busy city. 6 acres of property between the North Fork and the main stem of the Issaquah Creek was zoned for development, and it was purchased as part of this project and preserved as open space. Protecting and preserving our natural environment is foremost on the minds of our community, and there is much to celebrate in this project completion. There are many partners to thank today for their part in this project, and first is Costco. Where are the Costco folks? Right there, okay. Costco was the largest financial contributor to this project, and I want to thank you for your partnership and for making this significant connection a reality. Large projects like this one require this kind of public-private partnership, so thank you very much. Also, the Washington State Transportation Board, which granted this project $10.5 million, and the State Department of Commerce for a near $5 million grant. We have some elected officials here today I'd like to thank. Former Mayor Fred Butler. Is he still here? Thank you, Fred. Councilmember Paul Winterstein. I see at least one former council member, Councilmember John Traeger. And I also want to thank staff. A lot of different departments and divisions were involved in this project, but we're lucky today to have staff with us from Public Works Engineering, the Parks Department, the Department of Development Services, the majority of our senior leadership team, and our communications team and staff from our mayor's office. Thank you all for coming today. Our engineering team worked hard to ensure we maintained schedule and stayed on budget. And the community is chomping at the bit to begin using this new road, to get back onto East Lake Sammamish Trail and to put the 4th Avenue undercrossing back into use. The community has been extremely patient with us through this 2-year process. We have a couple more speakers today before the ribbon cutting ceremony. I'd like to introduce Greg Armstrong, and Greg is going to come up and join me. This is our region's Transportation Improvement Board engineer, and our Director of Public Works Engineering, Sheldon, if you want to come up, will be speaking after Greg. Greg?
Thank you. I'd just like to congratulate the city on the construction of this vital transportation link that really provides access to the Costco campus. The Transportation Improvement Board is a small state agency that distributes gas tax money back to worthy projects, and we use a rating criteria to select projects. This project was the highest rated growth and development project the year it was selected, and still holds the record for the largest private contribution. And these projects don't happen without a lot of work from elected officials, both at the local level and the state level. So It is very important that for these critical transportation projects to happen, that we thank our legislative delegation for allowing these projects to remain and the funds to remain so that we can distribute them to worthy candidates. And so because these projects don't always happen and they're not always easy to get to the completion date where you're actually opening the ribbon and providing the access to the agencies, we like to provide these plaques, and this one is to the city, to the mayor, and I'd like to present
Thank you
this
very
plaque.
much.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you, Greg.
And with that, we have Sheldon.
Thank you all for being here. As the mayor succinctly stated, this project is the largest project that the city has undertaken. It's not without effort from many partners, beginning with the funding partners. And especially, I'd like to thank also the elected officials of the city and state that supported this project, both as a champion of the project as well as funding the project. As mentioned earlier, previous Mayor Fred Butler was a staunch supporter of this project. The City Council, who some members are here today, Mr. Winterstein, Mr. Traeger, but there are others that are not here today. One of them in particular, Mr. Ramos, who's a state representative now. But without the City Council's support, we wouldn't have this package either. And not to mention Costco as the major funding partner as well. These projects don't get off the ground in a very easy way. It started a little history here. In 2010, we started developing the financing partnership and the plan for the project. I've already mentioned the funding partners, but it took 5 years to pull that funding package together. It was a major effort, not just for staff, but for also the elected officials to be able to work their way through all the nuances of funding this project. Following that, in 2015, the design started. With that, the city had selected a design team led by Gray and Osborne, whose project managers Rory Cameron and principal Brian Sauerwein. Some sub-consultants that are under that were Pangeo for soil engineering, Sargent Engineers for structural, ESA, and then transportation solutions. The design also entailed 2 value engineering studies, which the city evaluated this project in a couple of different time frames so that we were making sure we would design the most cost-effective project that will perform for the city for decades. Just a little small snippet of a story on the design team. As we started the project, the initial project meeting, we all were in this room and we were all together saying, we can't just think about what our own professional discipline is. We have to look out for everybody's discipline. So throughout the design process, we were having environmental people questioning the structural engineering. We were having structural engineers go, well, what about this environmental thing? The geotech, same thing. Without that type of collaboration on the design team, this project probably wouldn't have turned out as good as it has. Then, to culminate this, the project was advertised for construction bids in November of 2016, about a 2-year process of design and permitting. The winner of the bid was Quigg Brothers. This project could not have been done better. Quigg Brothers, Vice President Peter Ewan is here today, as well as Ted Franco, Eric Haag, Andrew Pratt, and Greg Franco. Without these key players, the partnership probably wouldn't have been as good as what it has been throughout the entire project. Another key player in this during the construction was KBA. KBA was a phenomenal project management team. They kept the project on schedule. They kept ahead of the contractor in what the issues might be. They kept the communications link open between the contractor and the city. And one example of this, which really kicked the partnership off, was within the first week, Quigg Brothers came to the city through Kevin Simmons of KBA and asked, would the city be interested in a value engineering contractor proposal? Without being in detail about it, the owner, i.e. the city, said, why wouldn't we look at something like that? Is there a better way to do this? And that kicked the partnership off to a great start. That value engineering contractor proposal resulted in about an $860,000 savings to the public. Thank you, Quigg Brothers. So here we stand today, substantial completion. Road's going to be open at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. Few fun facts, and then I'll give it back to Mayor Pauly. This is the first bridge with a concrete deck in the city. It's 800 feet long. The project imported about 100,000 cubic yards of gravel, of which we're standing on a lot of it right now. We relocated and enhanced about 500 feet of the North Fork of Issaquah Creek, which you will see as you walk towards the end of the bridge here. The bridge has 7 spans, and the entire bridge itself is supported by 32 36-inch diameter piles that are between 70 and 120 feet deep. And not to mention the trail undercrossing as a major component in this project as well. Now people can use the regional trail without having to interact with the traffic at the same surface level. With that, I'm going to give it back to Mayor Pauly.
Thank you, Sheldon. And thank you for sharing the numbers. Sheldon knows I'm an engineer too, and I just go crazy when he starts quoting numbers. I also forgot to thank our partners. We have the Sammamish Water District here today. So even though we've been looking at a lot of the stuff on the surface, we also spent a lot of time worrying about what was underground, and they worked with us on this project as well. Thank you for being here today. So I'd like you, if you're interested, to please come over to the new bridge and join me as we cut the ribbon to open this road. 3, 2, 1.